Hi folks, hello viewers, welcome to the live session of developers claims and Ask Me Anything. Under Ask Me Anything, we shall be covering this developers claims topic as we had discussed earlier with you, that will come back to you live. And in this developers claims issue, I will be taking your questions and I am having my team with me and will be answering all your queries. Let me first introduce my team to you. On my right is Advocate Anjana,
Hello everyone.
and next to Anjana is Advocate Ashi.
Hello everyone.
On my left is Advocate Akirti,
Hello everyone.
and next to Akirti is Advocate Nikita.
Hello everyone.
Okay, viewers. What are developers claims? Developer claims are basically against the developers who have failed to fulfill their responsibilities, and the claims can be made against those developers for infringement of rights of the allottees, or if there is any defect in service, or if there is deficiency in service, and the developers have failed to fulfill the requirements of the agreement which was entered into with the allottees. So the claim can be made against those developers. To further sanctify this issue, the government has made two acts under which the claims can be put against the developers. The first act was Consumer Protection Act, which was made in 1986, but since it was not meeting the requirements as per the stringent conditions have to be seen, they had amended the act in 2019, and 2019 act is more stringent, and we will be taking up the issues which will be covered under this 2019 act. And secondly, the government had also passed an act called RERA, that is Real Estate Regulatory Development Act 2016. The real estate sector, as you have seen, is developing day by day and has shown leaps and bounds. And in the real estate sector, it is one of the major important pillars of the Indian economy. Since real estate sector is an important sector, and it required certain regulations to ensure that the allottees who are under this and are putting up their claims under these acts, they should get justice, and their rights should not be infringed, and they should get the maximum against the builders so that the justice is given to them. So to adopt these stringent measures against the developers, the government had passed the RERA Act. Now gentlemen, we are waiting for your queries on these issues. If you have any queries under developers, against developers, or pertaining to your developers claims, the queries are welcome, and we are here to handle all those queries. And I must inform you that under this Consumer Protection Act, which is passed in 2019, the pecuniary jurisdiction has been increased because the National Consumer Commission was highly overburdened, and claims beyond 1 crore were all going to the national consumers. So to ensure that national consumer is not overburdened and doesn't give long adjournment, the authorities under 2019 Act has been decided that the claims up to 1 crore should come to the district redressal forum, and from 1 crore to 10 crore should come to the state forum, and beyond 1 crore, 10 crore, it should go to the national forum. And further, I can see that there is a mediation process has also been introduced under this act, and whenever there is a dispute which is placed before the commission, national commission, or before the state commission, or before the district commission, and it is seen that some settlement can be made through mediation, then mediation body is referred those matters by the commission, and they are required to put up their claims within 7 days. The mediation the mediation body, which is there under consumer, they handle those claims, and then they put up their, they take the statements of the parties involved, and thereafter the report is put up to the commission. Under this mediation, they may decide all the issues which are before the commission, or they may decide only very few issues which are before the commission. And in case very few issues have been decided and the entire issues are not decided, then what the commission can do, the commission can decide upon the issues which have been agreed upon during the mediation, and the rest of the issues they can rehear, and they can continue with the hearing of those issues. Now,
So we have a
any query, Ashi, you have seen?
Yes, Shivani, hello. So your query is, I have taken loan from the bank and still paying EMIs. Entire money has already paid to the developer for the flat purchase which was to be handed over in 2018. Builder has failed to hand over the same till date. The loan is still subsisting and I am paying EMIs. Since the builder has failed to give me possession in time, can I discontinue paying EMIs to the bank? Shivani, no, you cannot discontinue paying EMIs to the bank. You should approach the consumer court and tell your grievance to the court, saying that you were supposed to be given the possession of the property in 2018, but the developer has made the delay. You have the direct dispute with the developer, but not with the bank. So if you stop paying the EMIs, the bank itself will start legal proceedings against you. So yeah, please continue paying EMIs to the bank, and you can get compensation from the consumer court for delayed possession. Am I right, sir?
Yeah, you are right, and I must explain that when you enter into an agreement with a contractor and you take a loan from the bank, then you have a tripartite agreement. This tripartite agreement is between the bankers, between the buyers, and between the lottery. So when the tripartite agreement is there, under that agreement, the bankers have the right over the lottery to claim the money from the lottery, and they pay the entire amount to the builder. So once the builder has been paid the entire amount by the banker, so to avoid legal proceedings, as Advocate Ashi has brought out, it is better you continue paying the money to the banker.
So there
Okay.
is another query.
Okay. Advocate Anjana, please continue with that query.
Sir, yeah, Mr. Raseek, hello. Hello, Mr. Raseek. Hope you are healthy and safe. And your query is, my matter is already filed in Consumer Forum. Now, after the introduction of RERA, can I approach RERA court as well? Yes, you can approach both the courts simultaneously, but the only with the different relief sought. So please
Yeah.
continue.
She is right. Advocate Anjana has clearly brought out that you can approach RERA as well as Consumer Forum, but the cause of action should be different. But for the same cause of action, you cannot approach both the courts. And RERA has jurisdiction after 2016 when it was passed by the government, and the consumer courts have jurisdiction since its inception, that in 1986. So with the separate cause of action, you can approach the separate courts. Okay, any other query which you've seen on the net? Okay, so viewers, as you have seen that there are large number of cases being filed against the developers, and the courts are overburdened. So there are forums at the district levels under the Consumer Act, there are forums at the state level, and there are forums at the national level. And I must clarify to you one thing, that every state had its own jurisdiction, and all these forums are functioning from state to state basis. And in these forums, the jurisdiction we have already discussed, that they have pecuniary jurisdiction as well as territorial jurisdictions. Pecuniary jurisdiction, as I have already explained, that from up to 1 crore it is the district forum, and up to 10 crore it is the state forum, and more than 10 crore it is the national forum. And further, there is a territorial jurisdiction which you have to take care. Under this territorial jurisdiction, which has recently been amended in 2019 Act, the person from his place of residence or the place of work can also file a complaint from the same jurisdiction. He doesn't have to go to the place where the buyer-seller agreement was done or the property is existing. So, from the same place of residence, the suit can be filed, the complaint can be filed by the allottees or by the buyers.
So there is a query.
With the
Mr.
next
Uday
query.
Karan Monga, I am NRI and I had purchased a flat and builder has failed to give possession on time. I have to put up a claim in court. What all documents I should possess with me to ensure favorable decision? So can you please?
I couldn't see the query.
Can you please repeat the?
I am NRI and I had purchased a flat and builder has failed to give possession on time. I have to put up a claim in court. What all documents I should possess with me to ensure favorable decision?
Okay.
Basically the possession
Would
of
you like
documents.
that?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you for your question, Mr.
Uday Karan Monga.
Uday Karan Monga. Thanks for your question, first of all. So your question is with regard to the possession issue, and you want to ensure that if you approach the appropriate court for the relief, what all documents you should possess. I would briefly outline a few of the documents, such as buyer's agreement with the developer, and if it is a floor system, then a particular floor agreement would be executed along with the developer. There should be a tripartite agreement if you have taken any sort of loan from a bank. There should be proper receipts with you along with the bank transactions, which clearly mentions your transactions towards the builder as a consideration amount towards the bank. There should be a proper site plan. Also, you should also maintain a proper correspondence proofs with you, which clearly or explicitly shows that the possession should be handed over to you. These documents are majorly and necessarily required and are also necessitated before approaching the appropriate forum to get you a proper relief and to get the proper justice.
Okay, good. So these are the basic documents which you must have with you. And I see there is another query on the net, that is Shabdita Singh. Shabdita Singh is asking, in the allotment letter given by the builder to me, he has not specified any date of possession. What should I do? So date of possession is not there. Advocate Nikita will handle it.
Hi Shabdita, how are you? I hope you are staying safe. With regard to your question, I would say that date of possession is basically, it should be mentioned in the agreement which has been entered between you and the developer. It is something which kind of facilitate you to go into any kind of code, whether it's consumer or RERA. So it should be mentioned, but in case, like for example, there are scenarios that the developers, in order to deceive the purchasers, the consumers, they do not mention it intentionally, and buyers also a lot of times they do not pay attention to that such details. Like we do face that, so that kind of examples in our routine life, like whatever cases we face. So in that scenario, the limitation period that can be covered by showing the correspondences between you and the developer. So generally, like Advocate Akriti has rightly mentioned, in the documents which you require, the one out of that was correspondence between you and the developer, which is basically to show the continuous cause of action, because continuous cause of action should be there. So just to show that you were in constant touch with the developer, you were not sitting at your home and at the comfort of your places, and you were not saying anything, you were not asking anything. So that is something which should be mentioned, and if it is not mentioned, that clearly shows the malintention on the part of the developer. So if it is not mentioned, then you can clearly go to the court to seek redressal for your money invested or whatever claims you want to have, compensation along with interest. You can clearly go to the courts. So I hope that explains your query.
Okay, good. There is another question I see on the screen from Abhishek Bhang. Abhishek Bhang is asking that he has been cheated by the builders who showed him fake documents and site maps and took money from him. Also, they have vanished with his money. What all he can do in this situation? Advocate Ashi, please comment.
I can't see the question. The name
Okay.
is?
Name is Abhishek Bhang.
Hello, Mr. Abhishek. In this situation you have stated, you can go to the consumer court as well as you can initiate criminal proceedings against those builders who have defrauded you by showing forged and fabricated documents. So yeah, you can approach either consumer court or RERA authority, and also you can get FIR lodged against these builders so that the fraud that has been committed with you can be brought out to the notice of the police officials also.
Okay. The next question comes from Manmeet Kaur IC. She says, I have been paid a specific sum of money to a developer. Even after consistent follow-ups, the developer is not responding to which court I can approach for filing the complaint. Ms. Manmeet, I would like to clarify this to you, that the developer is liable to answer against the developer is answerable to you for having taken your money, and since you have entered into an agreement with him, based on that agreement you can approach the RERA court, because if it is after 2016 contract, then you approach the RERA court, and in the RERA court you can put up a claim against the developer, and you must be having all the receipts which have been given by the developer to you for having received the money. You may be having the account statement with you, you may be having other proofs like checks and other documents which show that the money has been paid by you to the developer. So a complaint can be filed against the developer claiming your money, and you can very well approach that RERA court for getting your dues. Hope your query is answered. And next question I see from Mudita Chandel. Advocate Akriti, please handle this.
Sure, sir. So the question is from Miss Mudita. Hi, Miss Mudita. So your question is, the court has given directions to refund the amount to you. The post-dated checks issued by the builder to you have been bounced. What can be done now? So Mudita, since this case clearly shows the malintention on part of the developer, and in such case you can definitely seek a relief from the court, putting up those bounce checks on record, and this totally is a case of fraud on part of the developer. So it is mandatory to seek the execution petition of the said orders, because since you have the direction and order in your favor, it is suggested that you should get that order executed in the appropriate court.
So, Ms. Mudita, I hope your query is answered. And I see any other query on the screen. Any other queries now? Okay. So, you have seen that there are large number of complaints against the developers, and the developers are not giving any redress to the allottees, but you must see that the courts are delivering justice, and there is a time limitation for within which you have to approach the RERA court or the Consumer Commission, and the time limitation which is laid down is 2 years, and within 2 years you must put up your complaint to the court to seek the redress from the court. In case the money you don't put up your complaint within 2 years, then there should be some continued cause of action, there should be some correspondence, even if the date by which the plot was to be handed over to you or the property was to be handed over to you, and 2 years have passed from that date, but within the period you have been corresponding with the developer and putting up your claims against the developer, the limitation period will start from that date, and it will be continued cause of action. And if there is any issue which is resolved by the commission, by the Consumer Commission or by the RERA court, but you find that you are not satisfied with the direction, with the this decision given by the consumer court, then you can very well approach the appellate courts. And you will see that from the district forum in under the Consumer Act, the appeal can be filed to the state consumer, and from the state consumer, the appeal can be filed to the national consumer. And even the national consumer court's decisions are not binding till the time the parties abide by the decision, and appeal can go even to the Supreme Court. But so far as RERA cases are concerned, in those RERA cases, the appeal can be filed before the REAT, that is Real Regulatory Authority, that is Appellate Tribunal. Under the Appellate Tribunal has the power to even award punishment up to 3 years imprisonment to the promoters. If the promoter has failed to abide by the orders of the Real Estate Appellate Tribunal, he can be imprisoned up to 3 years of RI, which can, the imprisonment can range between 1 month to 3 years, and even fine can be imposed, and the fine can range from rupees 25,000 to rupees 1 lakh.
So we
And-
have a query.
Yeah, okay. What is the query?
Nikita, would you like to? Sunil Kumar.
Nikita?
Sunil Kumar, being a buyer, what first steps should I take before purchasing the property? Hello Sunil. So before buying a property, you should see all the approvals and licenses that have been taken by the developers. You have to make sure that the builders are registered with the RERA authority, and then you have to see the list of the banks who are financing the project. Also, you should verify the particulars of the buyer as well, and also the size of the apartment, the location, the infrastructure, and then the site map. Anything else?
Yes, I would like to add up here, there should be proper information with regard to the apartment infrastructure, the layout plans and the licenses. And you should make sure that the particular list of banks are mentioned, duly mentioned, from where the particular project has been financed.
Okay. Good. And there is next question by Deepak Khanna. Deepak Khanna has a query that he purchased one residential flat in Ludhiana. I think Ashi, you will handle this question. Have you got this question with
no,
you?
no.
Okay, I will explain it. Deepak Khanna, hi Deepak, I will take your query that you purchased one residential flat in Ludhiana and the developer promised you to deliver possession by the mid of year 2017. The same was written in your agreement also. I have not received the possession as the construction work is very slow there. Can I complain against the developer? Yes, Mr. Deepak, you can very well complain against the developer because the project is going very slow, and the project, as per the terms of agreement, he was required to give you the possession by the mid of year 2017, and he is already delayed. Then you have two options with you. Either you can claim the amount which you have already paid to the developer through the court, and in case you want the possession of the house, then directions can be made by the RERA authorities to direct the builder to hand over the possession within a specified period. Otherwise, the penalty can be imposed by the RERA authorities upon the builder. I hope your query is answered. And I see there is another query by Mr. Ruhi Bhan. Ruhi Bhan is asking some question, how you can help me the flat. Helping that the flat I bought is in Gurgaon, India, and now it is being delayed several years. Okay, Ashi, you are done.
How you can help me? The flat I bought in Gurgaon, India, and now it's being delayed several years.
Yeah.
Hello, Ruhi Bhan. So as sir has clearly stated about the cause of action, the cause of action to approach the courts is of 2 years under Consumer Protection Act. So as you stated that it's being delayed several years, so we can cover the limitation period provided you have the written correspondence with the opposite party, that is the builders, the developers. So if you have corresponded with them via emails or through letters asking asking them about the reasons for the delayed possession, then yes, your limitation period can be covered, and we can approach the court even after there is a big gap of delivery of the possession. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there is a query from Ms. Kusum.
Okay, you handle it, Arpita.
Hello, Ms. Kusum Meenu. As I can see your question, that you had purchased a flat from developers and you do not have the receipts with you for the payments made to the developers. Can you claim against developers, and can your claim can sustain in the court? So I would like to tell you that even if you do not have the receipts, but you have any certain bank transaction, NEFT, RTGS, any other checks which you have made towards the developer, in that scenario your case can definitely sustain in the court.
Even if there is some acknowledgement letter from the developer stating that yes, I have received the payment, you can file it also.
Definitely.
Okay. There is another question which I see on the screen from Mr. Rohan Chugh. Hi, Mr. Rohan. And he says that he had filed complaint in consumer court in 2019. Even after a lapse of 1.5 years, the court has not shown any progress in his matter. What should I do? Mr. Rohan, you must understand that the Indian court procedures are very slow, and there is a delay, and because of the large litigation pending in the courts, the long dates are given. But recently, Honorable Supreme Court has passed a order and directed the National Consumer Commissioner and bringing out that the long adjournment should not be given, and the chairperson of the National Commission should examine this course of action, why this long adjournment are being given, and hopefully we feel that with those directions and the interference from the Honorable Supreme Court, the things will be under control soon, and you will start getting justice as soon as possible.
Sir, Mr. Ruhi Bhan has confirmed that I have all the emails from the builder in relation to the payments and all. You can
Okay.
email us your matter, and we'll definitely help you out to get justice.
So, you have seen that the developers' claims are relevant because the developers are doing injustice with the allottees, and a large number of allottees were having issues with the builders, and the builders are answerable to the allottees under these two acts which I have taught before you, and you must understand that you can claim your right by approaching a correct forum, and unless you approach a correct forum, your claim may not be admissible. So it is better to approach the right person and the right forum. And as I had earlier also stated that the jurisdiction is pecuniary as well as territorial, and also if you are not happy with, you are not convinced with the decision of the courts, then you can approach the appellate court. I was telling you that in the RERA court, the appeal can be filed before the real estate appellate tribunal, and from real estate appellate tribunal also the appeal lies to the high court. And even if you are not satisfied with the decision of the High Court, you can approach to the Supreme Court also in case the matter is before the RERA court, through the RERA court. So that being the ultimate authority, and it is the final authority, and those decisions of the Supreme Court are binding upon all the parties. Okay. There is a query from Karan Sachdeva. Okay, Akriti, may I request you to
Yes.
enter it?
Yes, sure. I'm just going through the query. Yes. So, hello, Mr. Karan. Can you just read out the question here, please? Yeah, now I have the question. that आपके चाचा जी ने एक फ्लैट लिया था 3 साल पहले, और डेवलपर ने उसके बाद कुछ नहीं किया है और आपसे पेमेंट ले ली है, और आपके चाचा जी कनाडा से नहीं आ सकते हैं, तो क्या आप उनके बिहाफ पर ही केस लड़ सकते हैं? तो करण जी, आप डेफिनेटली उनके बिहाफ पे केस लड़ सकते हैं. उसके लिए आप पावर ऑफ अटर्नी एग्जीक्यूट करवा सकते हैं अपने चाचा जी से, और उसके थ्रू आप पूरा प्रोसेस यहाँ इंडिया में उनके बिहाफ पे कंप्लीट कर देते हैं टिल द फाइनल ऑर्डर्स. थैंक यू. आई थिंक दैट आंसर्स योर क्वेश्चन.
So, Mr. Karan, you can put up your claim through your power of attorney holder as you have been explained by Advocate Akriti.
So there's a question from Mr.
And I see there is another question from Mr. Ravi Chauhan. Hello, Mr. Ravi. And your question is that can you please make me understand the concept of escrow accounts? Okay, Mr. Ravi, I would like to clarify these escrow accounts to you. It's a third party account. This account is basically open to ensure that the in case there is infringement of rights on the part of the allottee by the buyer, then some money is kept, some securities are kept in another account which is donated by the third party, and those securities can be forfeited and then allottee can be compensated out of those amounts. And this amount remains in the escrow account till the time the agreement or the conditions laid in the agreement are over. Also, in the RERA Act, there is a clause which has been introduced, that is separate account. A separate account is required to be maintained by the builder, and he is supposed to deposit 70% of the amount received from the allottee in that separate account. In this 70% amount can only be used for the purpose of the construction or for purpose of buying land for which this agreement is taking place between the allottees and the developers, and that amount can only be spent with the concurrence of the parties like engineers, architects. Only that once concurrence is taken from all the parties, then this money can be spent from that account. This is also basically to ensure that the builders do not use or misuse that amount. And viewers, I must tell you that I think this session is going to over, and we have already spent the time which was given to us with you, and there might be some queries which could not be answered. We'll be taking those queries with you separately and we'll come back to you separately, and we ensure you that we'll be coming back to you soon with some different topics, with some different range of colors. And thank you so much for being with us, and thanks for listening us. But before I close, I must request you that please subscribe to our website for the latest information on property laws, on all types of services being handled by NRI Legal Services. And I would also like to convey thanks to my team
Thanks.
for assisting me. Thank you so much, viewers. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.